What's up, guys? Welcome to the Couch Guys Sports Podcast, episode number 241? 42? It's just me tonight. Just Nick Qualley, no Jared Scally. Getting together on a schedule this week was not happening, not going to happen. We tried multiple times. Obviously, the show is coming out late this week, and we cannot appreciate you guys enough for watching religiously and listening religiously every single week. We really appreciate you guys. And also, special shout out to our friends over at manscaped.com. Use promo code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com for 20% off with free shipping. They are the best tools in the men's grooming game, guys. It's not even close. So go check them out, manscaped.com. It's gonna be a relatively quick show tonight. You know, just me. I can't talk too much. I've done this before. I've done single shows before here for the Couch Guys Sports Podcast. But this week we're gonna stick with the NFL. I want to wait for Jared to talk about the Celtics because Jared's mainly the Celtics guy. But actually, you know what? Let me start it off with this. First of all, I want to talk about Suzuki, Seiya Suzuki. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce his name yet. Japanese prospect. The rumor mill's been, for the most part, that he wants to sign with the Boston Red Sox. Obviously, we all know about the Koji Uehara interview. But now all of a sudden we're getting reports that he might be favored to sign with the Seattle Mariners, which obviously see the connection there, Ichiro Suzuki. But is that something? That's something I want to ask Jared tonight. Do you buy into these rumors? Personally, me, do I buy into these rumors? No, I don't. I don't buy into these rumors. It could be a leverage play, maybe, but it just seems weird to me that up until now we've had the same rumor for honestly a couple months now that the Red Sox are the favorite. What would have changed? What would have changed? Nothing. I'm sorry if my video quality is slow. But what would have changed? Absolutely nothing. The Red Sox have an opening in right field. Once you traded Hunter Renfroe away, we're like, okay, well, first of all, people started acting like Hunter Renfroe was Babe Ruth. It's really not a big deal that Hunter Renfroe got traded. But you lose that guy, and you're like, okay, well, who's going to take his place out in right field? The Red Sox proved last year that with the right team put together, they are contenders right now. This isn't a rebuild. They're contenders right now. So you'll lose Hunter Renfroe. Who are you going to add there that's going to either equal or be greater than for value to him? And I think Suzuki would be that guy. So the spot's there. I don't see why anything would have changed for Suzuki to be like, okay, I don't want to go play for the Boston Red Sox, one of the most storied franchises in the game, but I'd rather go play for the Seattle Mariners. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So still, I still think Seiya Suzuki is coming to the Boston Red Sox. I hope. I really do, because again, you lose your guy in right field, he'd be perfect for it. You've seen I've seen 1,000 clips now of him just hitting bombs. And you know how I feel about clips. I've talked about that 1,000 times on the show. Clips, they don't get me too excited because, of course, people are going to put out the best product. Even the worst players have the best product on video. You know, that's my favorite thing about going into April, the NFL draft, when we see all these guys like, oh my, and you see all the Twitter reaction. Like, oh my God, he's going to be so nasty. He made a running throw here on this video in this closed-off practice dome. Hey, that's what it comes down to, right? So I'm not going to get too excited over clips, although he does seem like a very talented baseball player. I think he's going to be very good, and I want him to be with the Boston Red Sox. And I need Koji Uehara to do his thing, and I need him to convince him to get his ass over to Boston. Big fan of Suzuki. I want him to be here. Anyway, let's talk about that wild-ass weekend in the NFL for the divisional round. Absolutely crazy weekend. The best, genuinely, I think it might be the best divisional round that I've ever witnessed. I'm 27 years old. That might be the best divisional round that I've ever witnessed in the NFL. It was incredible. Every single game, field goal winner, upsets, 49ers beating the Packers. You know, that game wasn't great, but it came down to a field goal. And then you think that the Tom Brady and the Bucks game against the Rams, you think that's going to be the best game of the weekend with the way that it ended. Incredible game, which, by the way, you just see the difference. You see the difference between having Bruce Arians and Bill Belichick as a coach. At least prime Bill Belichick. Because that game came down to a final drive. Matt Stafford bombs it to Cooper Kupp, the number one receiver on the Rams for sure. One of, if not the current best receiver in the game, is wide open. He's a potential, he's not going to win MVP, he's a receiver, but he's a potential, like he's in the conversation for MVP. Who are you going to make sure is covered on a must-have-it throw? The best receiver in the game, Cooper Kupp. And for some reason, Bruce Arians doesn't get I think he said that, it wasn't communicated to the entire defense what the plan was on that play. And it was terrible. It was awful. It was a terrible, terrible look to let Cooper Kupp get that wide open. And that's just bring it back to Bill Belichick. I don't think Bill Belichick allows something like that to happen. I don't. I think Bill Belichick makes sure that Cooper Kupp, the best in the game, is covered the entire time and not running wide open down the field when the Rams have to get in field goal range to win that game. They have to, and they did it. And they did it because you let them wide open. And then you move on to the Chiefs and the Bills. And this is the main conversation that I want to have tonight by myself. This is like a therapy session. Middle of the season, we talked about the Patriots being potentially Super Bowl contenders. Could they win it? We don't know. At one point, they were favorites to go to the Super Bowl in the AFC. Actually, it was supposed to be Tom Brady and the Bucs versus the Patriots and Mac Jones. Those were the two betting favorites. Neither of them made it. The Patriots lost in the first round in Wild Card Weekend. But regardless, they were at one point looked at as the betting favorite to go to the Super Bowl with rookie Mac Jones. But they obviously got trounced. They got their asses kicked by the Bills. They got their asses beat by the Bills. And the Bills played the Chiefs this past weekend. And after watching that game, the way it ended, the way that it happened, the question has to come to your mind, how close are the Patriots to really being contenders when you have those two wagons in the AFC? Not to mention the Bengals, who I think are going to get better and better and better. Before we get into it, guys, we got to talk about our friends over at Manscaped. Guys, roses are red, violets are blue. Don't let a wild pube wreck you. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and our sponsors at Manscaped are here for you with the best tools to get your balls ready for the special occasion. This Valentine's Day, it's time to join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use code CouchGuy20 for 20% off with free shipping. The holidays went by so quickly. Did you remember to take care of your package with the best tools for the job? The Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped is just the thing every guy needs in their life to make each and every day just a little more special. The number one product in this package is the Lawnmower 4.0. This electric trimmer is designed to trim hair on loose skin. And get this, the trimmer's advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts, nicks on your delicate balls. It even has a 4000K LED spotlight, so you can shave anywhere your heart desires. And I mentioned that it's waterproof, too. I'd like to propose making February 13th a national holiday. National Shave Your Balls Day. Who's with me? I think this is one holiday that men and women can both get behind. This package also includes the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer to whack off the worst of your weeds. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts, their Shed Travel Bag and Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs to keep your boys stored comfortably. To complete the perfect package for your perfect package are liquid formulations like the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner. Start your day off with the deodorant for your boys and then stay cool all day with the toner to keep you feeling at your best all day and all night. These formulations will also have your balls smelling like a king on the big day. And don't forget to smell good not only around your balls but all over. Made with their signature scent, the Manscaped Refined Cologne will complement your collection with smell perfection. Manscaped created their products for a night just like this and will make your Valentine's Day say, wow, great set of balls you have there. Go to manscaped.com and use our exclusive offer, 20% off with free shipping using the code CouchGuy20. Your balls and your lady will thank you. Now listen up. Again, get 20% off with free shipping using the code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping using the code CouchGuy20 at Manscaped.com. Join Cupid and shoot your arrow with Manscaped this Valentine's Day. All right, so back at it. Talking about the Bills and the Chiefs and the way that game ended. Obviously, 1,000 points scored in the last 2 minutes of that game. It was unbelievable. Quite possibly, as far as best games of my lifetime occur, or the best games of my lifetime that I've ever seen, I still think it's the Seahawks, Patriots, Super Bowl. Obviously, the Malcolm Butler interception that ended it. It was great. It was the best. Again, the best that I've ever seen. But this game is damn close. This game, I think, has to be second. Not even thinking about it. I think it has to be number 2 on that list. I can't think of any other game that would beat that. Again, the Bucs and the Rams game before, earlier in that day, earlier in that Sunday. Like, wow, this is an unbelievable game, great game. It was easily like betting favorites right now. If you were to make this a bet, people would bet that game was going to be the best of the weekend after it ended. And the next game probably is going to beat it. It's going to be a good game. You knew the Chiefs and the Bills was going to be a good game. 2 high-flying offenses, 2 defenses that are clicking. Bills, obviously, best defense in the league, if not one of the best defenses in the league. Although, underappreciated with how good they were. No Pro Bowl defensive players, which is insane. But that game, it surpassed expectations with the last 2 minutes. Surpassed expectations. It was unbelievable. And, watching those two go at it, those two powerhouses of the AFC, I think it's fair to say the 2 best teams in the AFC. 1A, 1B. If not 1A, 1A. I don't even know who I would put above the other one because it was so close at the end. It came down to a coin toss. We're going to talk about overtime rules, I guess, in a second, too. But looking at how both of those teams played, you got to look at the Patriots and go, how close are they? Really? How close are they? Are they close at all? Because obviously the NFL is a quarterback-driven league. The most important position in American sports is the quarterback. And those are the 2 marquee guys right now. Josh Allen, being a Patriots fan, it sucks to say because he's going to be around for the next 10 years at least. He's 25. Josh Allen is unreal. He's unbelievable. As long as he stays healthy, which it doesn't seem like there's any thought that he wouldn't. He is unbelievable. And then Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. You don't really have to elaborate on that. 2 of the best quarterbacks in the AFC by far. And as much as I want to believe in Mac Jones, and a lot of Patriots fans want to believe in Mac Jones, my thing is, like, we don't know. We don't know. We really don't know. We do not know how good Mac Jones is going to be. He had a really good first year, a great first year for a rookie, right? But the thing is, we don't know what his ceiling is. We've seen guys have really good first years. Mac Jones was exceptional for a rookie, his first year. Best rookie of the class by far. Great year. But we've also seen other rookie quarterbacks in the past have good years and then just do nothing and then suck. The first guy that comes to mind, Brock Osweiler. People thought Brock Osweiler was going to be a guy. He got paid. And he sucked. He ended up sucking. Mac Jones, I think, is going to be very good. I think he's going to be very, very, very good quarterback in this league. But when you look at those 2 guys, Kansas City and Buffalo, those are elite guys. Can Mac Jones be that? I don't know. We don't know yet. And we talked about their defenses, both defenses. Kansas City's defense surprised me because Kansas City's defense, they've been known for their offense for the past few years. Their defense is what shocked me this year because they came together at one point and were one of the top defenses of the AFC. The Patriots at one point had one of the top defenses of the AFC, but they did the same thing they did 2 years ago with the Boogeymen. They did the same thing. They disappeared at the end of the season. I want to know if there was an injury to Matt Judon because it doesn't make sense to me how he just disappeared like that. The man's getting paid. He was having a great start of the year. And then all of a sudden he just disappeared. He just became a non-factor. And for a guy who's your marquee defensive player, you have to make sure that he has a full season. You have to make sure that he plays hard, he plays great start to finish, because you paid him. You paid him. You got to make sure he's not a bust. I don't think he's going to be a bust. I think he's a great player, but that was disappointing to see him drop off like that. And it's just the rest of the defense. It's just old. It's just old. I mean, Dante Hightower, I think it's time to hang it up. I love Dante Hightower. I think it's time to hang it up, though. Devin McCourty, he's getting old, too. A lot of these guys are just getting old. And if you're going to compete in this AFC, you have to find guys, which it's not easy, obviously, but you have to find guys like Micah Parsons who can control games with quarterbacks like what we see in the AFC between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. There was one tackle in the wildcard game where Christian Barmore, who was a beast this year, tried to tackle Josh Allen. It just didn't happen. Josh Allen is way too good, way too big, and way too fast. It just didn't happen. So it sucked. It sucks to look at this defense and really think, and truly, like, I believe this, they cannot handle what's going on in the AFC right now. Bill's going to have to totally revamp it, and it sucks because he's getting old. But he's going to have to totally revamp it. And also, whoever was calling the defensive plays at the end of the year, if it's Steve Belichick, get rid of him. I do not want to see Steve Belichick calling plays again. Hey, if Brian Flores doesn't get a head coaching job, which would be stupid, but if he doesn't get a head coaching job, bring him back, be a defensive coordinator. The Patriots need a defensive coordinator. They do. Give Gerard Mayo a shot if he didn't have a shot this year. Give him a shot. I want to know who's calling defensive plays. I'm tired of this guessing game. Give Brian Flores a job if he doesn't get a head coaching job, which he should get a head coaching job. But if he doesn't, if he's willing, bring him back defensive coordinator. And if he doesn't come back, I do not want to see Steve Belichick as a defensive coordinator. I want to see, maybe give Gerard Mayo a shot. I don't know. But just looking at the Patriots, the roster right now, yeah, they need to figure something out. They do. Because right now, with the way the team is built now, I think they can be close, but I have to see some serious moves made. And one of those is getting Mac Jones on the offensive side of the ball a weapon, a true number one weapon. There's rumblings that Michael Thomas could come to the Patriots. I don't know how that could happen. That'd be cool, I guess. But, who knows if he's good anymore? We don't know. People just love to see these names that they've known for years now that were at one time were really, really, really good and just hope they could come here and just explode. We don't have Tom Brady anymore. Tom Brady elevates players. We don't have that guy right now. Mac Jones is that guy, but is he going to elevate players? We don't know. Maybe he'll take a huge step in year 2. And he had a great year 1. Maybe he'll take a huge step in year 2, but we don't know if he can elevate a player like that. The guy I want to see is Calvin Ridley. That's the obvious one. Falcons need to trade him. If it's going to take a second-round pick for Calvin Ridley, make that move any day. Make that move any day. Because you made that move for Mohamed Sanu. You traded a second-round pick for Mohamed Sanu. That guy stunk when he got here. At least we know Calvin Ridley's basically in his prime. Get him here. Give Mac Jones a number one weapon. That's that offense. They have a really good offensive line, 2 really solid running backs, 2 top tight ends in the league. You add Calvin Ridley to that mix with Jacoby Myers and Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar. Sure. That's a team that competes as long as you get that defense right. Because if you don't get that defense right, you're not going to win anything. Because you have to stop those 2 absolute tanks in the AFC. And again, like I said earlier, too, not to mention the Bengals. The Bengals, I think, are going to be a force in the next couple years, if not next year. Joey Burrow's a guy. The Bengals didn't ruin him like I worried they would. Jamar Chase is going to be a top 3 receiver in this league. I think that's obvious at this point. And not to mention, people forget this all the time because of the season that Jamar Chase had. T. Higgins is damn good. Damn good. And Tyler Boyd. And Joe Mixon. That's a solid team that they have there in Cincinnati. The Patriots have to do a lot to compete. That's all it's going to come down. They have to figure something out, and they really have to build a strong roster. Now, my last topic of the night is going to be the overtime rules, because I saw a lot of talk about that this week on Twitter. Look, I get it, and I do like the idea that they keep the overtime rules the way they are now in the regular season, but then playoffs, they change them. I think that's a good idea. But at the same time, I agree with a lot of these defensive players that talked about it, the retired ones like the A.J. Hawk and Darius Butler, both on the Pat McAfee show, or both said this on the Pat McAfee show. Stop them. Stop them. It's the same thing that Patriots fans said 2 years ago when Kansas City was complaining about it, 3 years ago, whenever it was, when Kansas City was complaining about it, because the same thing happened. Overtime, whoever got the ball basically was going to win that football game, and the Patriots did. The Patriots got the ball. They marched down the field. They scored. Didn't give Kansas City a shot. And Kansas City complained about it. But they didn't this year because it worked in their favor. Defensively, stop them. If you don't, if you want to win the football game, that's what you have to do. There's 3 phases of the game, right? One of the most important of the 3, is defense. Stop them. Stop them or you lose. Literally the rule. Figure it out. All right. Couch Guy Sports Podcast, episode number 241, I think, in the books. Nick Qualia, guys. Thank you to our friends over at Manscaped. Use promo code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com for 20% off with free shipping using the code CouchGuy20 for the best tools in the men's grooming game. Guys, we will talk to you next week with Jared. It won't just be me. I can't believe I hammered 20 minutes out on this. Incredible. We'll talk to you next week, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening.